satellite animation, you can see the circulation right in front of your eyes. There's one right there. That's the 96L. And the other one to the west of that. They're forming in an area that is kind of right now favorable for at least some kind of tropical growth. There's what's called a monsoon trough right in here. That's a little strip of low pressure that by its very nature tries to enhance low-level spin. Look at the winds coming in opposite directions around it. So you get the sense that it's trying to spin things up anyway without the tropical waves coming in aloft. And so when you add all that up together, these areas right in here are going to be places to look for possible development during the coming days. Talking about, though, the long-term prospects, yet again, they may be dancing with the devil in terms of a very close proximity here to dry and stable air that will continue for the next several days to penetrate into the MDR, the main development tropical region. That dry and relatively stable air will tend, in the long run, to try to limit the thunderstorm groupings and try to limit the development potential with those, which is kind of what the global models are telling us. When you animate these out over the next several days into next week, whatever happens out here does not look like much. Pretty much all the models are telling us that very thing. And instead of a wound-up circulation, we're kind of seeing just a sort of generic undulation there in the trade winds with some showers and really not much more than that. But it's early. If you think about it, it's only July, and in history, we really haven't had a lot of development that far to the east over the Atlantic. We often have to wait till August or even September to really begin to see things perk up across that part of the world. Stay tuned, of course, for all the latest.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Postel. Meanwhile, we're still tracking showers and storms here in the lower 48, stretching basically from the lower Mississippi Valley. Downpours, lightning issues to deal with there, stretching all the way into parts of the mid-Atlantic, including in Philadelphia. DNC wrapping up, and yeah, they haven't gotten it going yet, so there's probably still a lot of folks outside. Call them up, tell them to get inside.
You hear that sound from the result of heavy downpours, flash flooding, and the threat isn't over yet. We are tracking storms moving into the northeast right now. This is Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Delgado.
And I'm meteorologist Allison Chinchar in for Chris Warren. Well, streets are turning into rivers. Up to 3 inches of rain possible in some areas are under flash flood watches through tonight. Now, strong storms are firing up across the Ohio Valley earlier this morning. Lightning, you can see it flashing across the sky over Cincinnati just before daylight.
Now, more than 1,300 customers actually lost power as those storms move through the city. And the area is seeing 200 lightning strikes in just 15 minutes. More rain through Friday and more storms stretching across the Missouri and Ohio valleys this afternoon.
And we are taking a live look right now at Philadelphia, although it's kind of hard to see Philadelphia right now due to the poor visibility and the rain showers that are around. Again, from time to time, you can kind of see some of those raindrops sticking to the actual camera lens. And again, it makes sense. This area has been dealing with showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, and it's likely going to continue. Jen?
All right, so we see the view coming out of Philadelphia. Imagine there are millions of people, walking around out there. And then we also, of course, are dealing with people out for the DNC convention. So hopefully everybody's being cautious because we do know we've got the severe storms as well as the lightning. So we look at the radar and all this moisture just firing up and moving through areas, including parts of the Tennessee Valley, Ohio Valley. This is going to be the prime area that we're going to be looking at for flooding. As we zoom into Philadelphia right now, we look at the severe thunderstorm warning for Camden, Gloucester, as well as Philadelphia. This goes until 3:15. You see the view of Philadelphia here. Of course, this is going to lead to some delays, maybe if you're flying into or out of Philly, but the windless, we're going to be looking at the strong winds. So heads up for you as we go through this right along 295 as well as into 95. So already we have flash flood watches up in effect for all that moisture that we were tracking across parts of the South. That's coming from you. And we're also going to be looking at that having that tropical connection. So that's going to lead to some heavier downpours. So there's the upper disturbance that we've been following all week long. It's going to be moving to the north and it's going to ride along a little stationary front, and it's going to be squeezing out an incredible amount of moisture, and all that is going to lead to some flooding problems from anywhere from the Ohio Valley down towards Tennessee Valley, spreading into even potentially New England. As we time this out for you, this is 3 o'clock. You see the storms firing up, but we have severe thunderstorm watches in effect for a good portion of the northeast, we'll say the mid-Atlantic area, and that's because we've still got a secondary line coming through, and that's why those watches are up until 10 o'clock for especially some of those big cities. So as we go all the way through the evening hours for Friday, we start to see things quieting down, but then we'll see redevelop.
Some decent chance of rain each and every day. Here's a look right now at the current radar. You can see some showers around Nashville, around Huntsville. We've got some very heavy rain into portions of Louisiana and also around Houston. And we'll start with Houston right here. You can see, again, most of the extremely heavy rainfall is on the northern side of town, basically just north of Interstate 10. But we still have some rain on the south side. Now, if you're in downtown Houston, you've been dealing with some torrential downpours for the last hour or so. Same goes with portions of northern Louisiana. Right now, we have numerous flash flood warnings out for Caldwell, including Jackson parishes as well. This goes until 3:45 Central Time, and for good reason. Take a look at some of these numbers. Impressive. 5 inches. 5 inches of rain, and some pockets that could have even had a locally isolated higher in just 12 hours. So again, there's a reason for those flash flood warnings, and Jen, they're going to expect even more rain on top of what they've already had.
Yeah, the area is just certainly going to take too much rainfall in a short period of time. Well, we want to talk about another area that's going to be looking at severe weather for today. That includes parts of the plains, and we're seeing some of these big cities, even through the Midwest, looking at some stronger storms coming through, Carl.
Yeah, that's right. There are some storms developing now in parts of Illinois, and the area that we're really watching is backing into the high plains, and we're finally now seeing some stronger upper level winds coming into play, and that's going to be more supportive of supercell development and also big clusters of storms. So here you see the low. Notice a little spin in the atmosphere sitting right in there. Associated with that, there are very strong winds in the mid levels of the atmosphere coming out of the northwest. There's the flow in the mid levels right through there, while at the surface you've got winds that are coming from the opposite direction. So you've got a terrific amount of shear, and along with that we'll probably initially see some supercells developing, with which there may be some tornadoes. Then they will evolve into big clusters of storms, and we'll see a damaging wind threat along with that. So there is the area of concern for today, across the high plains, down through parts of western Kansas, and even into Oklahoma. And right now there's not that much going on. There is an ongoing cluster of storms, non-severe at this time, dropping down through southwestern Nebraska and south and west of North Platte, and it may well be that we don't see development until later in the day today. So here is a look at the area of concern. This is the high resolution model, and you notice we see a little bit of development in some scattered areas. There's that ongoing cluster, but it may evolve into more discrete cell formation. And again, with these discrete cells, they tend to be supercell storms, and supercell storms can produce all modes. You're talking about tornadoes, very large hail, damaging wind. We may see that developing here in parts of Colorado, western Kansas, central Kansas, and then again, they're going to begin to evolve into much larger clusters, and we may see one of those dropping down through southern Kansas and then getting into northern Oklahoma. So it could be very noisy overnight tonight in central parts of Oklahoma. Jen Allison, back to you.
All right, well, we already know it's noisy right now in Philadelphia. We want to take another live look, and we are already dealing with delays. Talk about blinding rain coming down. This is after days of soaring heat. We're going to continue to see this popping up across parts of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast.
And we have severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the area, too. We'll have the latest information on some of the storms coming up for you after the break.
At Pure Leaf, we know that the best things in life are real. So we brew iced tea the way you brew it at home. For real delicious leaf brewed iced tea. Pure and simple. Pure Leaf, for the love of leaves.
Carol's painting with confidence because she went to Lowe's. She knows if she doesn't love it, they'll make it right. And being a parrot, I know color. Because, okay, do you mind, Sparky?
Now get paint and primer starting at $19.98 at Lowe's.
Looking for a home service pro you know you can trust? For over 15 years, homeowners have trusted HomeAdvisor to find only the best home pros and do a thorough background check. So start every job at HomeAdvisor.
Over 40, feeling tired, losing muscle, and even romantic drive? Man up with Ageless Male. Natural ingredients clinically shown to support energy, promote muscle, and boost free testosterone.
The great thing about Ageless Male is that it works.
Man up with Ageless Male.
Ugh, heartburn.
Sorry, ma'am, no burning here. Try new Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Gummies. They don't taste chalky and work fast.
Incredible. Can I try? She doesn't have heartburn.
New Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Gummies. Enjoy the relief.
You both have a perfect driving record.
Perfect.
No tickets, no accidents.
That is until one of you clips a food truck, ruining your perfect record.
Yeah.
Now, you would think your insurance company would cut you some slack, right?
No, your insurance rates go through the roof. Your perfect record doesn't get you anything.
Anything.
Perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Every day you get to accept things as they are or take responsibility for changing them.
The people of Flint, Michigan, it's like we don't matter.
It's such a real issue that's right in front of us.
Climate, environment, science, technology. Let's have a conversation. Together, we can solve these things.
23.5 degrees, Tuesday nights at 11 on the Weather Channel.
Years.
30 years?
How have you been at the Weather Channel for 30 years?
Wow. Share your favorite Jim Cantori moments all this week.
Meet Kyle. You name it. Dust, pollen,
and pet dander.
He's allergic to it.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service to be certified asthma and allergy friendly, eliminating an average of 94% of common household allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander for a cleaner, healthier home.
Goodbye, Mr. Steamer.
Bye, Kyle.
Call now about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Skate through summer in style. Right now at Men's Warehouse, buy one, get one free on most suits, pants, dress shirts, sportswear, and accessories. Plus, take 30% off all shoes. Men's Warehouse, rise to the occasion.
You show up, you stay up, you listen, you laugh, you worry. You do whatever it takes to take care of your family. And when it's time to plan for your family's future, we're here for you. We're LegalZone. And for over 10 years, we've helped families just like yours with wills and living trusts. So when you're ready, start with us. Doing the right thing has never been easier. LegalZone. Legal help is here.
And And welcome back. 10 past the hour. We want to take a live look at Philadelphia. They are currently under a severe thunderstorm warning at this time. We are told participants at the Democratic National Convention who are outside the arena are being told to seek shelter immediately from this storm. Now, you can see through the shot that it's very gloomy. We've got the showers and thunderstorms rolling through there, but Philadelphia, not the only spot that we're dealing with some showers and thunderstorms. So let's take a look. First, we will start with Philadelphia, where we have the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, we've got it for Burlington, Camden, and Philadelphia counties. This does include the city proper of Philadelphia that's there. This is valid until 3:15 Eastern time this afternoon. But as we mentioned, it's not the only spot that we have some storms going on. And because of that, we are going to be dealing with some delays. Philadelphia, obviously, right now, an hour and 30 minutes because of the storm that is in that area as we speak. But Newark and JFK also dealing with about 30-minute delays due to thunderstorms in the vicinity. And then we also have some thunderstorms around LaGuardia. That's producing delays up around 45 minutes as of now. Philadelphia, temperature dropped back about 77 degrees. Pittsburgh also dealing with some showers and thunderstorms. Temperature right now of 73. We have some showers and a cooler temperature in Burlington of about 72 degrees. And as we go through the day, again, notice the showers will continue. So you may get a couple of breaks here and there in Philadelphia, but I wouldn't get rid of the umbrella because they're going to come back. You're going to have waves. Same thing with Pittsburgh and same thing for Washington, D.C. Jen?
All right, well, storms continue to fire up all along the radar. We have them from the Midwest as well as into the Northeast. So here's a look at what's happening right now. We're going to zoom into parts of the Northeast where we have our severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 o'clock. Philadelphia, Baltimore, as well as Washington, D.C., Salisbury. This goes all the way down towards the southern parts of Virginia, and that includes Roanoke as well as into Danville. So maybe if you're out along 81, expect to see some of these storms being strong as we go even through the evening hours. All that moisture you can see all the way to the west. This is that deep tropical moisture, and it's going to continue to come down very heavy. But right now, we're really concerned about the threat for the wind. So maybe if you know anybody in Philadelphia right now, and this is why officials are warning folks out there, TV crews, they're out there. They don't have the protection, say, of the building like they did at the RNC convention just 2 weeks ago. They're outdoors, so trying to protect themselves in the tents. This is the time you have to take it indoors. So we look at Burlington as well as Camden, Philadelphia. This storm moving over towards the east at a pace of 20 miles per hour. You do see some of that lightning, especially right along Wilmington. But this is going to be the big story as we go throughout the afternoon as well as in the evening hours. Of course, this is going to cause a tremendous amount of delays if you're going to be traveling or going to the airport. We zoom into Baltimore as well as into Hartford. We have another severe thunderstorm until 3:45. All these storms right now moving over towards the east and packing with it a punch with the winds. And then we shift over a bit more to areas like Kent. This is Dover, 3:30. At times, you're going to see that blinding rain. I know we have some live shots coming out of Philadelphia, and I know in Washington, D.C., these are all areas that the rainfall is going to be coming down and basically making visibility impossible at times. Then we look at Front Royal, more storms right along 81. If you're in the town of Clark as well as Frederick or as well as into Warren, you're warned until 3:30. But the problem is we're going to continue to see more of those firing up as we go through the evening, and that's why we have the severe thunderstorm watch is setting up. But it's not just the Northeast. We're also seeing these storms that are going to be popping up across parts of the Midwest, Chicago, and this is all a different system. But the point is we've got a lot of activity that we're covering right now with all this moisture coming through. And of course, we can't forget about the flooding aspect that's going to be setting up across parts of the Tennessee and the Ohio Valley. We're going to be right back. We're here now with Allison Chinchar as well as Carl Parker. There's the view out of Philadelphia. It's not looking so sunny.
Turning in the grain again, the bells began to chime. Time, she says, there's no turning back.
You can pass down a Subaru Forester.
She's all yours.
But you get to keep the memories.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.